What happened to mother who secretly sent daughter daily death threats in horror catfish ordeal? A mother secretly catfished her own daughter and for months sent the girl death threats on a daily basis in a true story told by a Netflix documentary. Unknown Number, The High School Catfish, follows the story of teenager Lauren LaCully and her at the time boyfriend Owen, who started getting strange text messages from an unknown person, which eventually turned into regular death threats and graphic abusive messages. The police looked into the matter, and the initial suspects were Lauren's friends and classmates, but investigators could not unmask the catfish. But I was surprised by the outcome of this documentary. I initially thought it would have been either classmates of Lauren's, friends of Lauren's who were jealous of her relationship with Owen, or typical teenager stuff. Things got so bad that even the FBI became involved in the investigation, which eventually led to the death threats and other messages being traced back to Lauren's own mother, Kendra LaCully. Yes, it turns out that she had been the one who was sending her own daughter abuse and death threats. Viewers of the Netflix documentary had been utterly stunned to learn the truth behind this horrific story, and of Kendra's claim that she didn't start sending the messages but later joined in. What happened to Kendra LaCully? As for what happened to Kendra LaCully, she pleaded guilty to 2 counts of stalking a minor and was sentenced to spend 19 months and 5 years in prison. Kendra's daughter Lauren and her boyfriend Owen, who by the way were a sweet couple, a really sweet couple for kids their age. It was just too late for their relationship to survive because they ended up breaking up prior to the revealing of who it was behind these messages, and the friendship as well for the most part. They would see each other in school and whatnot, but they just wouldn't talk to each other. They would just walk past each other like they were total strangers. And it's kind of sad to see, especially when they were such a young, happy, in love couple, which is what you love to see. She was then released on the 8th of August 2024 and wanted to remain a part of her daughter's life. So much so, she even contributed to the Netflix documentary. However, documentary director Skye Borkman said getting the mother who had sent death threats to her own daughter to agree was a long process, but they eventually persuaded her to sit down and talk about it. The director said the mother was remorseful that she has severely altered her relationship with her daughter in most likely a negative way. Director wondered, will they have a relationship? Will they get through this? I don't know, she said. There will probably be some kind of relationship. Will it be the same? Absolutely not. There's no way it can be the same. I completely agree with the director when she says that. That was this young girl's own mother sending these messages, these death threats, these abusive messages on a daily basis. And some of them are no abusive messages, it's good, but when it's coming from your own mother, it hits harder, if you know what I mean. It's not just a random person saying this on the internet. It's not a friend of yours saying this, or someone you think is your friend. It's not a classmate saying this. It's your mother, of all people, the woman who gave birth to you. They're the ones sending you these kind of abusive messages, putting you down, body shaming you, trying to ruin your life and your relationship. You can't come back from that, in my opinion. You just can't. 23, Lauren just wanted her mum back in her life. But according to Borkman, when the filmmakers returned a year later, they had found that her position on the subject had shifted. And this right here sums up the mother entirely. Every single one of us makes mistakes. That's the very quote from the mother when taking part in this Netflix documentary. Borkman said a year later that the teenager wanted to approach the relationship with more caution in our second interview. She lives with her father Sean, who has full custody, while Kendra cried and became emotional during her appearance in Unknown Number, The High School Catfish. Speaking about getting caught catfishing her own daughter and sending her death threats, Kendra said, "It was a very emotional day in our house, a day of confusion. Every single one of us makes mistakes. Not a single one of us has lived a perfect life. And realistically, a lot have probably broke the law at one point or another and not got caught. I know to some I'm a headline, I'm a villain, I'm a bad mum, I'm a whatever. I'm a whatever. But that's because they know one little piece of my story, they don't know the whole story. And that's when she starts to get into, oh well, I had a bad childhood, my mum was this, my dad was that, you know, that typical stuff you hear all the time in like documentaries or whatnot. And look, I can't talk about her relationship with her parents, what she did go through, what she didn't go through, what the relationship was like, what her childhood was like. You know, I can't go into any of that because I don't know what's true and what's not true. What she did was really disgusting, vile, inhuman, and betrayed her daughter's trust and betrayed her daughter's love of her mother, in my opinion. And I really feel sorry for Lauren. I know some people are kind of 50-50 on the documentary. Some people are thinking like, oh well, Lauren was in on it the whole entire time. Some people were like, absolutely not, she's just a young kid. Why would she want to sabotage her relationship with people and a relationship with her partner? Like, for what? 15 minutes of fame? Like, why would she want to go through all this sort of stuff, you know, for no actual benefit? To me, I stand with the opinion that Lauren had no involvement in her mother's death threats or abusive messages whatsoever. I mean, some people are pointing out about, oh, she wasn't very emotional in the documentary when she discovered that her mother was the one sending these abusive and death threats messages. Like, well, how do you expect her to react? Like, surely, in her mind, the wheels are turning in a sense. There's a lot going through her head at this moment in time. She just found out her mother is the one sending these horrible messages on and on and on for like 2 years or however, or for however long it was. And the woman she was closest to the most was the one who betrayed her trust and betrayed their relationship. Like, how do you expect her to react? That's my personal stance on the matter, but other people have other opinions, which is, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. But either way, I really recommend watching this documentary if you haven't already. Definitely forming your own sort of opinion, and like you think Lauren was involved in the whole situation between her and her mother, the abusive text messages and death threats and whatnot, or whether you think no, Lauren was definitely not involved and the mother was just simply a piece of shit. But if you have seen the documentary and you want to share your feelings on what you think about the documentary, then please feel free to do so in the comment section below. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.